In our hobby world, if you had to think about two island nations that came up with some sort of grimdark future where there was only war in the 80s, you would think of two answers, which is kind of weird, that it's the UK and Japan, with Warhammer 40,000 and Gundam. Yeah, but you know all that, because you've seen hundreds of these videos online. Hundreds of YouTube channels have done this, because it's a quick, easy win to be able to compare a Gundam model to a 40k model and see what it's like. But, I got a little bit carried away and thought, you know what would be cool? Why don't I compare the grading system of Gundam to 40k models and take a model from every single part of the grading scale for Gundam and compare it to a comparable 40k model. How many times do I need to say compare? That turned this from a quick, easy win that I could have done in a month to a project that took 6 months and is now a multi-episode series. So in this series, we'll be joined by my friends, loved ones, and bandmates to be able to help me do this very silly thing. Look at him. He's so happy. He doesn't know the pain that he's just caused. So welcome to this video series, where we will be comparing in this episode the entry grades of the Gundam scale to some 40k models. And by the way, the audio is a little bit jank because I filmed it in my living room, not the nice sound-treated studio for some reason. Eat the menu style. The year was 1979. I don't know if it was or not. I have no idea. Today, we have joining us on the first part of this illustrious and ridiculous journey, which I am probably never going to financially recover from. It's Chloe, you really don't want to leave her alone with your Reese's Cups because she will eat them all. Jade, the ref.
Okay, in my defense, I was stressed and I said I'd buy you more.
I still haven't received more.
We haven't been to the shop.
Okay. What's been going on in your world? Do you have anything to plug?
Our cats are currently putting themselves in mortal danger.
Theo, don't... Okay, that's not gone well. By the way, you're going to have to deal with the potential cat, which I think the internet probably likes anyway. So there's random meowing, scratching, screaming. That will be... the cats. Did you know that Gundam kits have their own kind of grading system?
Given the fact that I live with you, yes, I do know.
I know,
that.
we've
But
been planning this video
would you
for
like me
months.
to pretend I do not know?
No. That would have been a great time for you to just say yes. Usually most people think that you start with a high grade, but there is an entry grade underneath that. But I also found one Gundam kit that falls even underneath entry grade. Do you know what it is? Yes, you do, because I bought it for you. It is Gunpla-Kun, and you can build it as either a little Gunpla, or you can build it as a sprue.
What?
Yeah, look.
I won't lie, that is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. So that is our entry into Gundam section today. But the other kit that we're going to build that is sort of equivalent to that in Warhammer 40,000 comes from the Leviathan set. This is a pretty big box for this. This is the Terminator Captain from Leviathan.
Well, I think first things first, we should probably compare the sprues of each one.
That's a
We should
wise
see
choice.
what they look like out of the box.
Yes, sprues and instructions. So they are, in fact, in Japanese.
That's not really that big of an issue, because it is quite clearly set out what you are supposed to do.
One of the things that Bandai does that's really amazing is that they're able to do multi-coloured injection. So if you only need a small amount of red pieces, you can do it on some of the sprues. That's kind of mad, isn't it?
Okay, I will admit, this is one of the slightly better sprues that have been laid out.
In the past, Chloe's complained about how the layout on most GW sprues works, with examples like...
Here is one of your Hearthguard
Right.
sprues.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why do we start with 21 and then suddenly jump to 33? Why is 5 all the way over here? Why is there no logic to being able to find any of these pieces?
I don't know.
If I look at this, for example, each of the sprues is conveniently labelled, so you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And, oh look, we start with number 1.
And then we move
And then
to...
go straight to 2, and then 3. It's logically set out.
Stopwatch. Go. You're on the clock.
Okay.
These clippers are pretty great. I would love to be able to get a set of the Godhand clippers. Do you know how expensive the Godhand clippers are?
Given that they've got the word God in the name, I'm going to assume quite expensive.
Give a guess.
65 quid.
At time of editing, £54?
For a pair of clippers! Are they made of gold?
They leave no nub.
Believe
Apparently.
that when I see it.
You know what? That would be another cool... Oh, God, I just cost myself...
That was your fault.
No,
Call that on camera. That's your fault.
No, I did do that. That is my fault. So how was the experience so far?
I'd probably say this is one of the better 40k kits that I've done. Given that it is a push fit one, I don't have to worry about, Jesus Christ, why isn't this arm going where I want it to? If I didn't worry about cleaning the nubs on this, he would already be built. But I'm trying to make this look somewhat decent. Come on, right. Time.
Boop. 16 minutes and probably 15 seconds. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was okay.
So, that's a no then.
Your favourite part of the hobby journey is the painting.
Yes, I prefer the painting. There's less fear of ruining the model because you don't run the risk of carving a chunk out of it where you're not supposed to.
Cost.
How are we going to work this out? He was part of a big box.
Well,
because if you watched the previous video...
So I did get the Terminator Captain for effectively free. Watch the other video in the iCar, the previous one, and you'll learn how we acquired the Terminator Captain and a whole bunch of other Space Marine models for free.
The exact sculpt of the Leviathan Terminator Captain is out of production, but you can get this lovely Captain in Terminator armor from us at the Warp. Check it out in the link below.
Is he cool?
He looks like he could kill someone, which I'd imagine is his purpose.
Well, that's maybe.
Why don't we get started on Gunpla-Kun?
I'd say this is certainly, in my opinion at least, easier to put together.
There's a little sprue you cut
that's
off from the sprue.
Yeah! It does feel a bit more flexible
Yeah.
than the Warhammer ones. And some of these pieces, I haven't even needed the nippers to get them out. They'll literally just
Pop out on their own.
pop out.
There seems to be, like, for a couple of the injection marks, some of the pieces aren't as well coloured.
Given that all the pieces are coloured, it makes the instructions so much more simple. Because even if you can't work out the exact piece, you've got a number of it, and then it shows you the colour of the piece. That's really cool.
Amazing. Let's stop the stopwatch. That was 1720. So
Well,
roughly about the same time.
It took me a little while to figure out exactly where the stand sat.
So did you have fun?
I did with this one. Again, I think it's because it was a very unique concept of this model. Because this is so different from anything that we've seen before. Yeah, more fun than the sort of regular one.
And the fact that you can take it off of that sprue and build him
Yeah, all the
in real life.
pieces will just pop straight back off.
Price-wise, online retailers, it looks about, on average, it should be less than 10 quid. Is he cool?
100% he's cool.
Which one did you have more fun building?
Solely these two kits, I had more fun with this one. But again, that could just be because of the uniqueness of this specific model.
So I think that's kind of a great start to the video.
So it's time to leave Chloe behind and start our work on the entry grades.
But first, there is no one better to join me for the entry level than an entry level musician who's taken the very first rung on the ladder as drummer. It's Nathan, drummer extraordinaire Sherville.
And the crowd went mild.
So, how are you?
I'm better.
Recently overcame your inability to breathe.
Yeah.
Thanks to pneumonia. Phenomia.
The N sign, I believe.
The models that we will be making today is the Ballistus Dread from Leviathan. And we picked this for a couple of reasons, because this is one of the, I think, the most fun push-fit Games Workshop models that they make. And we'll be comparing that to... It's the entry grade. RX-78, it's Mr. Gundam.
Like the poster boy.
Yeah, this is the poster boy. This is the Gundam that everyone kind of builds. This box has been in my house for some time. Would you like to see the very, very specific bite holes that are next to each other?
Chloe's got smaller teeth than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So, which one do you want to tackle first?
I mean, this feels like it'd be natural to me.
Yeah, so do you want to start off with familiar?
If this is completely new,
Yeah.
I don't want to start putting practices that I do on that into that one if I'm not supposed to.
Oh, you do what you like. Shocked YouTuber face.
No, I don't do shocked faces well. I
You don't?
No.
You sure? You want to give it a try? That did not work.
You know, like when wrestlers do promos and they look at the TV screen from like side on like that. I never know what's the correct. Is it Gundam or Gunpla? Like,
Well, it's a Gundam plastic model kit, Gunpla for short. So that's
Okay.
Mr. Gundam.
yeah, but it's in all of his glory.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go for Mr. Gundam.
You're going to do
first.
Mr. Gundam first. Okay, let's get some nippers. And then we can proceed.
I'm
Oh,
guessing
balls.
I need.
I had just left the toolbox out of arm's reach, and for that sin, I will now get the world's most amount of criticism.
See, this is Will being completely unprepared as per usual.
What do you mean unprepared? I just forgot one thing. Is it incredibly crucial to the task at hand? Of course it is! So here's some nippers. So you know how these from Games Workshop, they're like 20 quid, right? 25 quid?
Yeah.
Here's the Gundam specific ones.
Why?
Yeah, apparently they're the best nippers ever made in the world.
But that's so expensive.
Yeah.
And I just snip it like normal, right?
Yeah, no.
This is a whole new world.
A whole new world.
But normally you'd have like a tool to like.
Oh, yeah, I've got a tool for that. There you go.
Yeah.
You were right.
But you literally just.
Yeah.
What? One? Two?
Pick your flavour. So what do you think of the experience so far? No glue necessary.
No, I like that. See, although it's smooth, it has left a little bit of a mark there. Whereas if you were to go now and base paint that, and base coat it in Warhammer, that's going to cover that completely, I guess.
Satisfying click.
Yeah, that was actually my knuckle.
If I'm rolling up my sleeves and mucking in, I need to go get a camera.
I'm just going to start going for it.
Yeah, start doing stuff.
Start doing stuff as if I've not been doing stuff for the last 38 hours.
POV cam.
Wow, did that just like staple onto you or something?
No, it's a magnet.
Are you made of metal? Magnet Man doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So this is this, and then that goes into...
That's right. The square hole.
It's almost like a bionicle.
Yeah, kinda. Maybe that's the next video. 40k versus Bionicle. Look at that. I'm also... Sorry.
They're just looking at your face going, look at that!
Look at that! And then it's just the
And they're like, we can't.
Look at that. So you've got angle rotation, side to side. Yeah, that is incredibly posable.
I must say, I'm enjoying this. Yeah.
More or less than 40k.
It's not made me rage quit yet.
Have you rage quit models before?
Yes.
Really? What models?
Yeah.
I'm interested now.
Plague Bearers.
Do you want to know something cool? What do you think that number is for? That 144 number there.
Is that scale?
Yes! So this is supposed to be 144th of a Mr. Gundam.
Wow, okay.
We need a laser sword. Laser sword! Because I've got the bits for the laser sword. Laser sword.
Do you have to say that every time?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm contractually obligated to say laser sword. You know, I actually really, really enjoy the aesthetic of
Laser sword.
laser sword. The entry grade. I just think the plastic looks nice, where it's like matte, flat plastic, and the fact that there's no decals or anything in it. It's just you get a really good looking model, and then we push that in there. And there is
Mr. Gundam.
Mr. Gundam. That is better than some of the high grades that I've built. What's going through your head right now?
It took me longer than planned, but it's me.
Yeah, so that took, I think, about an hour and 15 minutes. Why don't you pose him how you'd like to?
There we go. That's
Okay, alright, yeah, that's kind of nice.
It's really not. And to all of the Gundam community who spends hours posing their models, I am so sorry.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I like it. There wasn't really a stressful part of it. I like that it's push fit. I like that there's no glue. Is it going to win awards for like the best model ever? No.
But would it get you to consider doing another Gundam?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Was that...
Because you're doing the perfect grade.
Boom!
At time of recording, the RX-78 entry grade can be had for around 18 to 20 pounds.
Is he cool?
Yeah, he is Mr. Gundam.
Leave the RX-78 here for a moment and start to check out the Ballistus Dreadnought.
Which I think this is going to be a lot easier.
Don't
Maybe.
underestimate. Underestimate.
Are you okay?
No, don't underestimate. I'm just hungry. How can I not say underestimate?
You'll get there.
Don't underestimate my power of English. My power of being slow.
So let's make a start. Here's the instruction booko. I don't think I'm going to need to help you too much with this one. Yeah, so there's only 3 pages of instructions, whereas Mr. Gundam had several more. How many parts do we reckon was in Mr. Gundam?
Oof, I am not
like
sure.
50-ish, and with this is like maybe less than 20. This is push fit, so you don't need glue. What are your initial feelings and thoughts?
One, I have to use a bit more pressure.
To cut.
Yep.
Even though it's push fit, the panels don't fit completely flush together.
No. Already, I enjoyed the Mr. Gundam.
Really?
Far more.
So with this, the push fit wasn't exactly right, whereas the push fit on that is perfect.
Yeah.
I think maybe we did time this about right, you know? Because this requires so much more cleanup.
Okay, oh, this is interesting.
And here is a masterclass in how not to build a Dreadnought.
You were doing that not the right way around at all.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Hey, there we go.
That's still no.
This?
Yes.
There we go. My bad.
You really have never built a Dreadnought before.
No.
Turn it around. Flip it turnways.
Where's the satisfying click?
I don't know how you're not.
I'm trying to connect it, but it's just not going.
There you go. Right, there was the satisfying click. Great.
Very monochrome.
Please do not twist that. That will break.
Now it's not.
So far, how are you feeling?
Not stressed, but just more like there's so much to do. And there we go.
Right.
So
We've done it.
Harder too.
Ballistus Dread is done. It was about 40 minutes to build the Ballistus Dread. Did you have fun?
No. There's a lot of cleanup to do with it. We joke about the satisfying click. You know, the Gundam had many. This one has some.
I think from here on, you have to glue things.
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be the case. Because like the fact that the lines between the panels are so huge now. How does that compare to all the other 40k stuff?
Oh, there's definitely easy ones. There's definitely harder ones.
That was kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
The Warp does have Ballistus Dreads available right now. If you are interested, check out the link in the description.
Is the Ballistus cool?
For what it is, it's a nice model.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice hand size.
Yeah.
You know.
This is actually a really interesting journey. I'm kind of glad we're doing this along the way. Anyway, I think that's it from us. We're going to pack up and get some chicken.
Nice.
So, on to the next grade.
I'm going to make him build a drum kit.
Join us next time when we check out the high grades and the SDs. See you soon.